Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. There we go. He's
All
fighting
good.
the virus. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for coming on and chatting to us from Blackbriar. What a brilliant album that's about to be released into the world.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
It's nice to hear, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I at August 22nd it comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Next
strange
month.
thinking. Oh, wait, sorry. It's strange thinking that you guys actually heard it already because this is our fifth or sixth interview now, and you guys are the first ones, that can hear it. And for us,
Yeah.
it's very exciting that actually other people than the band have heard the album.
Yeah, yeah. It's a thousand little deaths is the name of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's your first on Nuclear Blast, is that right?
The
Second,
second.
Second, sorry. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
So-
it's okay.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
They'll kill me. They'll kill me.
Fuck them. No.
Fuck it. But you were well. I mean, you were quite famous for your crowdfunding
Yeah.
exploits, and you moved on to Nuclear Blast. You find that that's uh, better for you, or
Well,
We
yeah. Sorry, you go ahead.
yeah, we've done crowdfunding since the very first EP and it's
mm,
always been amazing. The support is like overwhelming sometimes. But so it was very important to us when we signed with the label that we still had some sort of connection with the fans with a new album and because we've always done like they getting the name in the booklet if they
mm,
support it and but we are still doing that and we that was yeah very important to us so people can still get the name in the booklet and pre-order like limited editions with us so yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. But did you find that it gives you a bigger being with them now for your second record? Do you find you've had a bigger audience because of the label size?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'd like to hope. So, I mean, it's Nuclear Blast, right? It's
Mm,
one of the biggest out there, and we always said that we were going to be and stay remain a do-it-yourself band. And then we started talking to Nuclear Blast, and they were actually very welcoming to having us with all the things that are important to us. And they were very open to anything we basically threw at them in terms of, we wanna keep the fans in the same keep how do you say it talking to the fans in the same way we have always done, like Sora said, with the names in the booklet, and
mm,
we wanted to remain doing the pre-order stuff and the crowdfunding, if you will.
Oh,
mm.
and have
And
our own YouTube channel because we've built up our channels for so long and
Yeah,
like to have yeah respond to messages over there with our fans as well. So that was also very important to us. So
yeah.
yeah.
71
exactly,
million views, I read. 71 million views. That's
yeah,
amazing.
that is
It just
crazy.
blows
Yeah,
my mind when I think
yeah,
of
me
Yeah.
things like
too.
that.
Yeah,
We
me
still
too.
can't believe it.
Well,
It's crazy.
I can because I mean your music's wonderful. It's beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
It's sort of I listening to as soon as I heard this album, I thought I'll go listen to the back catalogue and have a listen back. And this one it seems to be the most is it the biggest sound? It feels a really big sound in this particular album. Like you've put a lot more. It feels there's more in it
I
than the
think
previous
so. I
album.
think it's a bit heavier.
Yes,
I
I think that's
think
probably
yeah
the right.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I mean, we obviously you grow as a band, and also as songwriters, we like to think that we're growing. But there's things that you learn from a previous album cycle, and the things that you feel like you might be missing, or oh, we might need this in terms of a song that would work live and stuff like that. We usually don't necessarily keep that in mind when we write the songs, but for this album, there was one thing that stood out for me was I needed to go slightly back to a bigger foundation for the band. So the guitars and the drums and the bass, that stuff needed to be a little bit more centralized in the new songs. So in that regards, it's a bigger sound at the band level, and then everything that we added on later is more of the aesthetics for this album instead of being a very. I mean, for example, the Cost of Shipwreck, if you would mute the band, you would still hear the song completely because there's so much in the orchestrations going on and Sora's
Mm.
vocals and all the backing vocals. You would still literally hear the song almost, for me at least. And I wanted to make sure that if the band was muted for the new album, you would not recognize the song anymore.
Yeah.
So the foundation needed to be different because we wrote a little bit different back then.
Mm.
But so yeah, that's where that sound I think comes from.
Yeah, and Zora, your voice is just getting better and better. I mean, this album was just something a real beautiful thing to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
The themes that you cover. I mean, very few people in this world can make the themes dark themes, and they're not. Let's be honest, they're dark themes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's not easy to do. You know,
Oh,
it's
thank
very
you.
easy to paint things red and make them ugly. It's very difficult to take a dark concept and make it beautiful.
I like to think that's basically what Blackbriar stands for. Yeah.
Mm. And it comes across that particularly. I have to say, there's a couple of tracks that really stood out to me. I really love the choreography because I have friends who study that, and
Oh,
Ah,
really?
so
nice.
and so when that came up, I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
of
you
course.
know, it
Yeah.
Yeah.
was so nice that it's
Yeah.
such a niche thing. But then
Yeah.
suddenly I was like, oh, I don't have to Google that word. I know what that is.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool.
And they talk about it all the time, so it's quite a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And
Did you let
yeah,
them hear the song?
not yet. No.
Okay, you should. You should. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
they like it.
I think they will. I think it will blow their minds actually because it's one of those again. You know, the stories of flowers and flora. It's not something that people talk about. It's a very folky, earthy conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in public conversation, but they talk about it all the time.
Oh,
Well, to be
really?
honest, we
That's so
we
funny.
received an email that said Tony has a couple of friends and they need a theme song. So we
Oh,
said, okay, we'll write it. We'll write it for them.
Man,
Yeah.
it should be their fan club theme song. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
But also I can't speak today. The catastrophe that is us
Yeah.
um, is really catchy.
Thank you.
Catchy in a sad way, but really catchy. It came off of that one I was expecting, and then it was like, wow, this really has almost sing along
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
feel
Yeah.
to
This
it.
was actually the last song we wrote, and very last minute actually. Um, I guess it was like 1 week before we actually had to go to the studio and
Mm.
record the album. But I really wanted to have this on the album, so I said to Renee, please try and see if you can make a song out of this. I have
Oh,
something. And
I'm
Yeah, it
and
was
and we
lit.
happened to make it work, yeah.
Yeah, it was literally on Thursday, Sora sent the vocals, and on that night I was writing the music. On Friday I was writing the music. On Saturday I sent it to our producer Joost, and on Monday I was recording the drums for this song. And when we recorded the drums, I had not heard what we were going to play necessarily in its final form yet. So it was a very strange
Yeah.
way of going about recording a song. But like Sora said, we all felt like, this song needs to be on the album, but we had no idea what it would turn out to be.
Yeah,
And then,
recording it was a bit we
s-
felt a little bit nervous because of this, but when I got back the mixes of the final result, then I was very, very happy that we managed to record it.
Don't you
exactly.
love, yeah, don't you love the that kind of thing, the sort of fluidity of art and creativity that, if you try to sit down and do that in a meeting room somewhere,
Oh,
you'd
right.
you'd
Yeah.
end up with it would never work. It would never
No.
be. It has to
No,
be
exactly.
something just flows out of you and you say, Zora goes, I want this, do this, this is how I want it.
Yeah.
And then they do it and it turned out marvelous. I think it's one of the highlights on the album.
Yeah, me
Thank
too.
you. Yeah.
Honestly, that this might be my favorite song, and not because of how it came to life, but it just hit me when Sora sent me the vocals. I was like, oh, this is very cool. And yeah, it just everything just it just yeah it came to life very easy, very quickly, I should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
Not easy.
well, no, no, no. All art is painful. No art is easy,
Exactly.
right?
It was many hours writing it, but until deep in the night, and I'm just happy it turned out to be this song. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah, and you open the album with a crack. I mean, Bluebeard's Chamber is a great opening track as well. You don't, it came out of the blocks pretty fast. There's no building. It's such a good opening track for the album.
Mm.
I mean, itself as an album is so beautiful, and we are
Thank
lucky
you.
to have this kind of beauty in the world. Like, it's very difficult. I hate putting people in boxes. It's one of my pet hates. I really hate it. I hate record company boxes. Yeah, you're
Me
this,
too.
you're this, you're this, you're this. It's just great music. If you ask me to say to my friend, how do I describe Blackbriar, I
Mm.
would find it difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
for
have the
us it's the
same
same.
problem.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the
So
genres and stuff we still don't really know, and but yeah, it doesn't really matter. So
No, it doesn't.
exactly,
It doesn't
no,
because it's dark, it's pop, it's symphony. It could be
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
exactly.
It
It's
can
not
be
one
anything.
label you could necessarily put on because we also like to, make these very tiny excursions to a folky thingy here and maybe a bit more melodic metal there. And, it's very hard when you have to put one label on it. We saw that our label, Nuclear Blast, they
Mm.
actually, what was it, Sora? Wasn't it like atmospheric?
atmospheric metal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
So
that
that
one as well.
so that's what they put on it, and it was
Mm.
like,
Mm.
we we, we might be the only band in their catalog that has that label on it, but it did feel like, oh yeah, that might be a good sum up of what we do,
Oh
but it
yes.
also maybe makes things a little bit more difficult for us if we're the only band that has that label.
But you might be starting. You might be saying something new. I mean,
Well, who knows?
the thing is, atmospheric is perfect. It does sum it up because it is.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Exactly.
When you listen to your album, I listened to it about 4 or 5 times now, and when you listen to it, it's something different every time. You put it on. Yeah, you wait for the tracks you like to come up.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, they're coming. But there you put them on. I like to sit in a dark room with no
Mm.
Mm.
obstreperous and just listen to music because then I get to hear all the
Oh,
notes.
that's nice. Yeah.
And I put yours on, and it was like it took me on a nice journey, you know.
Hmm. That is so nice
That's
to
what
hear.
we are going for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, the
We wish
journey.
everybody would listen to the album that way,
Oh yeah.
because there's so many tiny details, even though they sound like very fast songs with maybe a bit of a pop structure, and it's not difficult music, but if you would listen closely, there's very small details everywhere. Either Sora had put some small details in her vocals or in the backing vocals, or we did the same thing in the music. So it's actually filled up pretty
Yeah.
nicely, I'd
I
say.
love I love doing backing vocals a lot, but I usually don't hear them very good in the final mix. But if you listen closely, then there are lots of voices.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, the separation on this mix is really good. The separation
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
mix is,
I love it.
and this is only listening to it through a digital format. Once I get the hard
Hmm.
copy on my record deck, it'll be slightly different because you get a more warmer tone come through, and the separations are different. But I think that I love the way your vocals mix with the backing vocals. It's ethereal.
Yeah, exactly. That's
It's
what
really
we're going for.
ethereal and chilling sometimes, Aura. But
Thank
in a
you.
beautiful way. Not like, oh, I'm gonna run away, but just like it just gives you just goosebumps.
Yeah,
I
thank you
was
Yeah.
so
thinking
much.
of yeah, like the fossilized widow, like that one. That one, I still can't get my head round. I'm trying to get my head round that one. That's lyrically interesting because you write some really fascinating lyrics.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually recorded some hysterical laughter in it as well.
I think that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did it at home, like all by myself because it was too embarrassing. to do it in the studio. And I actually had the Ring doorbell because I live in quite a busy street.
Yeah.
So I was watching the Ring doorbell if no one was walking past my
Oh my
house, and then
God.
yeah,
It's called the police.
yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, fantastic. And I think the audience your audience is going to love this.
I
And
hope so. Yeah.
well, yeah, no, I can't see why they would not. I think it's one of the best things you've ever done. Coming up for like moving forward. I listen to the older album, the first and the EP, and things like that, and it's great. But this is something. It feels big, as I said before. It feels the soundscape is full,
Hmm.
which is but not noisy full. It's
No,
full of
exactly.
different textures and nuances and tastes
Yeah.
and flavors, and I think that um, it's if the kind of people that will sit down and enjoy this will love it, and I think new people should come along, hopefully, and
Yeah, we hope
enjoy
so
it.
too. I think we're gonna need you to make some videos for us because you're describing it perfectly, and I wish everybody would understand that this is exactly what we were going for actually for this album. Some people might feel like it's an extension to everything we did before, which it is, but it's also us going back in time a little bit,
Mm,
going back to the Fractured Fairy Tales EP era
mm.
actually, but it's also us looking for, different nuances and small, tiny details that we could add on to our music and do something new. But we also really want to stay with what we know and what we do. So, some people might say, it sounds very similar to the last thing, but and it does, but it also doesn't.
No, I don't agree. I think it has vast differences. I mean,
Exactly.
the DNA is there. It's your art.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Every painter has his own stroke. Every draw, So this is the same thing for you, right? It's your DNA. It's your sound. It's
Exactly.
who you are.
Exactly.
But I feel that this has more nuances. Like I keep
Yeah.
going back to I can't say it, photography, it's my throat, and the
The song
catastrophe that
about the
is us.
flowers.
Yeah, song about the flower, and the catastrophe of us. I mean, I go back to those. I mean, and for me, they're vastly different. I feel they feel like you've changed somewhere in that one in those two songs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel
Those
that.
two.
Mm.
Yeah. If you listen to those two, yeah, then it's pretty different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is, right? So when
Yeah.
someone says you sound the same, I think they're probably just being
Idiots.
pedantic, I think is the
Yeah.
term.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you end on a great track in Harpy. It's I mean, it's the whole package is lovely. I love the artwork on the cover.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
who did that for you?
we've been working with our art designer since the very start of the band,
Mm.
since our band logo actually. He's called Alip, he's a guy from Indonesia, and yeah, we really like this style, and we think it's really Blackbriar. So
Yeah, it's
it's amazing.
beautiful. It says everything that it is on the package. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you pick a record up, in the past when we were younger, you'd pick a record up and you wouldn't have no idea. You'd just take it home because the cover looked cool, right? And then you put
Yeah.
the record on, and it was usually something crap. So whereas this actually, the art and the package and the music balance is equal.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yes, because it has that sense of whimsy and drama and sort of like Heathcliff and Cathy and all that,
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Like
all that
that.
stuff going on, that romanticism in
Hmm.
it, and then you put it on and it comes across in the music.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
like I said, that's what we were going for, and for the artwork, it was also very important to us that if our CD or vinyl would be in a record store, it should stand out somehow. And we have
Yes,
the very high contrast, black, white, and red.
love it.
But if you see all of them, it's like a little story by itself, all the
Mm.
artwork. So if you have our CDs in your CD case or whatever,
Mm.
it would all tell a story, but you would instantly see it's a Blackbriar CD or whatever. And that's why we just keep doing it. It
You
it,
got
it, it
to.
looks beautiful.
It does look
We
beautiful.
cannot go back anymore. This is it.
No, no. Well, that's right. Absolutely. I mean, no one's telling Iron Maiden they wouldn't use Eddie or their images, would they? It's just the way you have your
Yeah.
own. You have your own
Exactly.
story to tell, and I think that adds to the lamentations of the album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is that sort of darkness in the covers and in the lyrics? And not that saying it's depressive because it isn't. It's very uplifting. Weirdly, I felt very uplifted by this album.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's good to hear. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's very good. That's
Yeah,
very nice.
I mean, I don't want to bore you with but I lost my father a year ago, and sometimes I look at albums and go, I don't know, do I want to
mm,
go there right
Right.
now? And then I
Yeah.
put it on, and I feel uplifted by it.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's very nice. Yeah.
I think that's a massive compliment
Yeah, absolutely.
for us. Yeah, to be honest, that's what we are going for. I've said this 10 times already in this interview, but
Sorry.
Yeah.
no, but it's good because when our music, it's supposed to be quite emotional, actually, even though it's dark stories or
It's
it
very
has a very
emotional.
dark tone.
Mm.
But we want to make sure that if people listen to it, that they can basically whatever feeling you're having at that day or in that time of your life, we want to make sure that our music could either emphasize that or that you could literally bond your feelings to our music. And we've heard that throughout the years many times where people actually said, even if it's an extremely dark song,
Mm.
that they said, I went through a phase similar to yours, actually, for
Mm.
example, and that the music really helped them have something to hold on to or whatever. And there's even, I don't know if I want to say this, but there's one person who, because we read every comment and
Mm.
we reply to every comment personally, there was one person who lost somebody a couple of years ago, and we keep seeing that person in the comments
Oh,
Oh.
replying, I hope you still, I hope you see my reply here. Not us, but the person they
yeah,
lost. And, that was their song or that song meant something. I mean, that breaks my heart, to be honest.
it
We're here
does.
reading that
Yeah.
stuff and we're like, oh my God, this is what we do it for. Let's be real. But
Yes, of course.
it also breaks my heart that somebody has to go through that or, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we want to make sure that our music,
But what it does, Zora and Randy, what it does is that, so like myself, and I'm going to tell you my story. So I find it very difficult to express that I'm
Mm.
sad, but I've done my grieving, but it won't come out up to the anniversary. I put on music like yours, and something just makes me want to cry. Now that's not a bad thing. That's a really wonderful thing because it's letting my emotion
yeah,
go.
It's helpful,
exactly.
It's
yeah.
very helpful, right? And
Yeah.
so I put it on, and I feel cleansed afterwards.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, that's that's
And
an
then that's probably what
amazing
your that's
compliment.
probably yeah that's probably what the guys on that guy in that compliment in that comment was saying.
Mm.
That the time comes around and you live your life and you don't think about these things, and suddenly you're forced to remember through a date on a calendar,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and you want to express it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Somehow it won't come, and then you put on albums like yours, and you sit there in the dark, and suddenly you just have to reach for your tissues.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all we ever hoped for that our music would, would do. We're not in this for, sharing the emotions and making sure people feel things when they listen to our music. We're not in here to make
Or can
only
escape from other
from
yes,
things and
reality.
stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. That's
yes.
the only thing why we do it, and that is what means everything to us. We're not doing this to make parties every weekend and play live and just do the party thing. We want to, if it's a song and Sora's singing very softly, we want people to listen. And that's also what happens, when we do a live show. It's dead silent usually. And it's just people in the room, they are honestly interested in all the stories and the emotions and
Oh,
we
yeah.
feel that live, which is an absolute honor. That's crazy.
It
Yeah.
must be amazing to see you
Yeah.
live. It's drawn into that wonderful atmospheric um, feel that your band makes. Again, there's not many of you like that around in the world. Not really. There's a lot of bands that pretend to do that, and then you sort of there will be stadium acts, and you don't get
Mm.
that. You don't get that kind of
Yeah.
pull
No, exactly.
you
And
get
we
from the
can't wait
arena.
to play these new songs live. It will
Oh, they're going
be
to be brilliant.
very.
I that's going to go off the album live. I think it's just,
I
yeah,
hope so. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be amazing.
So when you go live, before we go, a question: do you mix? Oh, do you go? Do you have like favorites you always do, or is every time you play, is it a different? Because you've got so many different types of themes in your music.
For this upcoming tour for the album, we
Mm,
try to play as much as new songs as possible, but also add some older songs, of course. But it's always difficult to pick the set list. But I guess we usually also check like which songs are the most popular, and um, yeah, we do tend to play those still because we know the fans will love it to hear those. Yeah.
yeah, I'd love to hear this album all the way through from beginning to end.
I
That
Yeah.
would
would be an
too.
experience live.
Oh, yeah.
One day, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we will do that in terms because I know there's like one or two songs out there that will not work as well as we
Oh, always a bit
wanted
tricky.
to have it work
Yes,
live. But like Sora said, we'll play as much as we can from this new album, especially during our European tour later this year. But yeah, you have to add some of the old flavors as well. I mean, people, there's a reason why they are streaming those songs,
of
even
course,
now,
all of
songs that
course.
are 10 years old. So
Yeah,
we, like Sora said, we usually look a little bit at what's popular right now in our on our artist profile, and we put those in with some songs that we like to play live, and then that probably will be the set list.
good. Are you coming to Australia anytime soon?
We would love
We
to.
we
Come,
actually
come.
had plans last year that didn't go through in the end, which was very sad. But yeah, we are working on it, so
Because
we
they,
hope
yeah,
soon.
they love you down here. Like they would absolutely love you here. Like particularly that your sound is very, it suits here wonderfully well.
It's
So,
top two to-do list, so we'll make it work, but we don't know yet when we can make it
Yeah.
work.
that's right. You just keep focused on making beautiful music, and
Thank you.
then whatever comes, right?
Yes, yes, but we'll
That's the
be there.
answer.
I can promise you, we'll be there within 2 years. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
I will be
Hopefully within
there.
a year.
I will be
Yeah.
there. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for coming on chatting. This is a beautiful album. I hope that people get as much emotion out of it as I did, and I hope
Oh,
that
I hope so too.
yeah, I really
Yeah.
do. And again, thank you again.
Thank you,
My
Tony.
flower friends will love this song.
Yeah, I hope so. Make sure they hear it, and
Yeah.
thank you for taking the time to talk to us about the new
Yes,
album,
thank you
Tony.
so
We
much.
really
It was
Yeah.
appreciate it.
it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. And yeah, keep safe and
You too.
enjoy
And get
touring.
better soon.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
get better, man.
Yeah.
I've just got lots and lots of pills right here. You can
All
Yeah,
see
yeah,
right.
exactly. Hopefully it works, and you'll be better soon.
lots of lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope so as well. Bye for now.
Thank
Bye
you, man.
bye. Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.